Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Rotten to the Lore. I'm Alex the Queer, or Alex.
And I'm Cece, or Aggro Baby.
And today we're going to be discussing some really cool topics. We're going to first start out talking about Ursula's Return, which was the first big bad set of Disney Lorcana, with Ursula as the villain, which I know Cece is super happy to talk about. But we also have a special guest for you today, which is Wonderland. So join us along this journey as we talk a little bit about worlds, competition, and Ursula.
The story of Ursula's return did not begin with her emergence from the depths of the Inklands. It began long before that, with a single devastating act that shattered the boundaries of the realm. You'll recall it was during the rise of the Floodborn that Martin, in a moment of curiosity and musical prowess, unknowingly unleashed the catastrophic flood of ink into the Inklands. What seemed at first to be chaos without consequences turned out to be the first ripple in a much deeper current. For hidden beneath that tide was a force lying in wait, watching, calculating. Ursula, the sea witch, whose schemes had always thrived best beneath the surface. In the churning ink, she saw her opportunity. While others scrambled to restore order, Ursula began weaving her web. She knew she couldn't act alone. Not yet. So she turned her attention to gathering allies, sowing whispers and doubt among the glimmers of the Inklands. She offered power, purpose, and even revenge, but loyalty did not come easily. She approached Nessus, offering him command of untold strength, but he scoffed at her promises, striking out at her spies, Flotsam and Jetsam, and sending them fleeing back into the sea. But others were not so principled. Hans, ever the opportunist, saw in Ursula a reflection of his own ambitions. With a smile as false as her own, he agreed to her terms, and in doing so, lured Anna directly into the sea witch's trap. Ursula's army of glimmers began to grow in the shadows. Maleficent, meanwhile, watched all of this from a distance, intrigued but unmoved. No stranger to power plays herself, she knew better than to act too soon, though she did make sure to instruct her faithful servant Diablo to keep an eye on the situation. Even she had to admit, this new Ursula was different. And different she was. There were in fact two versions of her now. Ursula Sea Witch, cloaked in storm-tossed robes, had teamed up with her doppelganger, Deceiver of All, who shimmered in hues of deep purple and green. These dual selves reflected not just different styles, but a fractured identity bent on domination. In her relentless pursuit of ultimate power, Ursula recovered the Hexwell crown, a storied relic of arcane control. And at the same time, Deceiver et al. Came into possession of the trident of Triton itself. What happened next was whispered in fear among the Illumineers. The two Ursulas struck a pact to unite their strength and rule over Lorcana as one. But deceit runs cold in Ursula's veins. No sooner had they forged their alliance than the Sea Witch betrayed her mirror self, claiming both the crown and the trident for herself. With the most powerful lore artifacts in existence, she began her true work, entanglement. She cast spells across the Inklands that corrupted the very essence of the Glimmers, binding their minds, shattering their free will, and molding them into her devoted thralls. Some Glimmers resisted, their hearts too strong to be easily broken. Bruno, long haunted by visions of darkness, foresaw Ursula's rise, but in fear he shattered the slab bearing the prophecy, burying the warning before it could be heeded. When Ursula began to strike, the Madrigals searched for his lost vision, but by the time they found the broken pieces, it was already too late. Mirabel watched in horror as her once wise uncle became a puppet in Ursula's court. The sea witch's reach extended further. One by one she ensnared Prince Eric, Anna, Minnie Mouse, Jafar, Tamatoa, Triton's daughters, Gaston, even the mighty Hercules. Each entangled glimmer became a shadow of their former self, their once vibrant personalities hollowed out and replaced with Ursula's will. The pain of their transformation was not just physical. It was a mental rending, a scream silenced by the spell. Tamatoa, now a gleaming husk with lifeless eyes and a twisted grin, became an icon of this new terror. His appearance alone struck fear into the hearts of Illumineers. Faced with this rising tide, the realm reacted in different ways. Some Illumineers sought to heal the entangled, believing they could still be saved. Others retreated, fearing contamination. But a brave few chose to fight back. Led by enhanced floodborn glimmers, Mulan, Ariel, and Mickey Mouse, the Illumineers descended into Ursula's lair, a twisted domain swirling with corrupted ink and cruel magic. There, among the kelp-throned halls and glowing runes of power, the final battle began. But Ursula was ready. With Bruno's foresight, she laid a trap, turning the Illumineers' courage against them. Waves of entangled glimmers descended upon the heroes. All seemed lost. And yet, hope endures. Through fierce battle, sacrifice, and magic pulled from the deepest heart of the Illuminary, Ursula was finally defeated. Her stolen artifacts, the trident and the Hexwell crown, were shattered. Their magic returned to the great Illuminary for safekeeping. Ursula's dominion crumbled, but the scars remained. Across the Inklands, the echoes of her entanglement linger. Some glimmers have still not yet been found. Others remain broken, healing slowly in the light of lore. But one thing is certain. The Sea Witch rose once before, and in a realm where ink rewrites the world, no ending is ever final.
This is normally a segment where I tell you what's new with the set and what new keywords we got that change different mechanics. But really in this set, the only new mechanic that we got was a different type of shift cost with the Diablo, that whenever you shift it, instead of hard casting it on turn 3 as it's an uninkable 3 cost, you could shift it by discarding an action card. This is a really cool way of shifting because it doesn't cost any ink, which allows you to play another character. But aside from that, we didn't get a whole lot of new keywords or mechanics in the game. So this is what we're going to call Meta Corner. Ursula's Return Meta Corner is pretty simple because it was pretty much controlled by Bucky. Bucky was a 1/1 with Ward that whenever you played a Floodborn character, your opponent had to discard a card. Now, with the card I just told you about, the Diablo, that meant that on turn 2, you could shift your Diablo by discarding an action card and play a Bucky prior to doing so, which made your opponent discard a card. If the Bucky was on the field, whenever you shifted or even played another Floodborn character, that meant that your opponent was constantly discarding cards. And go figure, people playing trading card games want to play trading card games with cards. So this led to a lot of uproar in the community because they felt like Bucky was not fair. And in fact, at DLC Fort Worth, we saw so much Bucky discard being played, into a point that people started to not have so much fun with the game. But Ravensburger listened to the community and decided Bucky was in fact a problem. And they did so right before the DLC. But they wanted to make sure that people who had been playing the deck were still able to do so. So, as soon as that DLC was over, bye-bye Bucky. And at this point, they still hadn't banned a card in Disney Lorcana. So they heavily eroded it to make it more expensive, make it to where instead of just whenever you play a Floodborn character and Bucky's on the board, that triggers the effect for your opponent to discard a card. They made it where it had to be shifted. And they took away the ward keyword, which is a very powerful keyword. Unfortunately, this meant that Bucky was pretty much unplayable, and still is, which functionally banned it for meta play. But this changed the game, because the way that our interactions were functioning, everybody had tailored for discard meta. And in fact, because it was the majority of the decks that were being played, some people tried to figure out how to play new versions of discard with Prince Drawn, whereas other people decided that they no longer had to tech and they could just change the game entirely. And that worked for them. But discard wasn't out of the meta. It was just the time that Ursula changed how discard was being played. And from that point forward, discard has been something in the meta, which means that Ursula's return brought us discard, for better or for worse. Aside from discard in the meta and what really defined back in set 4 what Disney Lorcana was, this is also the first time that we actually got a game outside of the game itself. Because Ravensburger is actually a puzzle company, it is really cool that they branch out into other things, such as the Ursula's Illumineers quest. CC already talked about this a little bit, but this game, essentially, you are trying to defeat the big bad. The big bad in this case is Ursula. And what was made that so special is that this is the first time that we really had a big bad in the game, lore-wise. And so it gave you the ability to co-op play with other people. And also defeat Ursula, or not, depending. I actually replayed the Ursula game back a couple days ago with some friends. It didn't go well. We played on extreme mode with decks that we didn't make, but someone else did. And it just proves that even when you're not winning, you're still having fun. And honestly, that's what that game does. It brings communities together to play the game in a less competitive way, but all with one common goal. It kind of bridges that very intense gameplay of a one-on-one match, but also allows for the fun of a multiplayer match, which is super thrilling. Now that we talked a little bit about the meta in today's Meta Corner, let's go to talk more about how the starter decks change this game.
Hey everyone, Cece here again, ready to chat a little bit with you about the Ursula Returns starter decks. Alex just told you so much about all of the great stuff that we got here in Ursula's Return. By far, I think it's one of my favorite sets to date. We got 2 starter decks again this set. It was a Sapphire Steel featuring our Anna here in a very cool suit of armor and her friend Herc. And then, of course, we have the Madrigals, the Bruno and Mirabel here on the cover Madrigal deck of Amber and Amethyst. So let's see what they have to tell us about themselves. The Amethyst and Amber deck is called Madrigal Magic. The doors of Casa Madrigal are open to all glimmers, and there is much to learn. From Mirabel Madrigal, gift of the family, to Bruno Madrigal, out of the shadows. Every Madrigal has a unique gift. The true miracle, however, comes when they work together, both as a family and as a part of your team of Amber and Amethyst Glimmers. That's fun. I do love me some Amber Amethyst, and this is when we started to see some more of the songs coming out. So this is really cool, and I'm looking forward to later taking a look at that at some of our playtime. Then we've got here our Sapphire Steel. Let's see what they're saying. Stand together. Heroes from across the realm seek to test their mettle in Thebes. Clever sapphire glimmers like Anna, true-hearted, make the most of every opportunity, while powerful steel glimmers like Hercules, beloved hero, stand strong in a challenge. When this team uses their brains and brawn together, the reward will be even more lore. How fun. All right, well, this isn't the only thing that we got in Ursula's Return. This was also the first set where we received something called the Illumineer's Quest. And that is this right here. Let's see if I can get a good angle. So this came out really, really cool. It is a cooperative way to play the game, which this was the first time we saw that in Lorcana. Very, very cool approach. I have mine open here. I keep it in one of these trove boxes. But essentially, you see they give you 4 decks. So you can play with up to 4 people. And then here's a 5th deck. This is Ursula's deck. We'll probably go more into troves on another show later on once we get through rotation. We're not going to be doing any play of this today, but I did want to take a minute to show it to you. Here's a rule book. It came with a little sheet to play on. I wanted to show this to you because it was a really cool thing that, you know, gave us a different way to play the game. A lot of us have our families we like to, and friends that we like to bring into the game or play with, and this was just a really great way to do that. So I know that it's still possible to get your hands on these Illumineer's quests, and it's super fun. You don't have to play with a group. It's also playable alone, and it can be great to play with others.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed those starter decks. Please welcome our special guest for today and a friend of mine, Wonderland. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain too much, you know. But yeah, doing all right. What about you, CC?
I'm doing great. I am, you know, I keep getting whiplash from everything happening in Lorcana community right now, and I'm excited to chat about a bunch of it.
Oh, I was going to say, what could possibly have been happening today that would be causing drama and stress, or yesterday,
right.
perhaps?
I'm super excited to chat a bit about Worlds because I just was so desperate to be there. I was so sad that I wasn't. So I'm living vicariously through everybody else's story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderland, tell us a little bit. You qualified for Worlds. You won Seattle. How was Worlds? Did it live up to your expectations? What are some of the things that you'd want to tell us about it?
If we take aside how I did at Worlds and how fun was Worlds, they're different things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously greatly disappointed with a middling performance. Sure, it's the best players in the world, but I went 3-4. I kind of just expected to do better. I definitely made at least one mistake that could have cost me a match. So that's obviously like a multi-$1,000 mistake. So that's disappointed. But the fact that I was able to make a mistake that cost me thousands of dollars and still made enough in product. Obviously, they did not give us cash, but they gave us a lot of awesome goodie bags that other people were very nice enough to give me cash for. That was a nice bonus for sure. So I was really excited about that part. Obviously, making money's nice. Spending a week with my family in Disney. Now that was pretty cool. I did not shell out the extra money to go to Disney multiple times, but they did put us in the beach resort, which has this very nice pool area. And like we left Disney early on one of the days we did go and hung out at the pool before we went back to a different Disney park. And I think we had more fun at the pool than Disney. I mean, that's probably something I shouldn't say, but it was a really good pool. If people have been to the beach resort and been to that, they have like sand in the actual pool bottom.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, after walking around at Disney in the morning over the tour, the sand was very nice on my feet.
Nice.
My
So you
wife
got to
was
go on
like,
a
I didn't
tour.
think I was. Oh, they took us on the Keys of the Kingdom tour. So if you're a really big Disney fan, a Disney adult, as they call them, I do believe, you would love it.
Yeah.
If you're me, it was a little bit of torture. There was one frustrating thing that I know someone else on the tour, like they made us hurry up and not look at this area. They had like I've slowly become a pin collector of sorts, and I dabble very like, you know, I got my I got them right here. It's like I got the ones from the first season. Get on my bag, right? And then I only have one of the new one. I had a few more, but traveling has actually, I don't know how people put pins on their travel bags. I've lost like 3 of them. And that's frustrating. But I'm going to get the rest of this season's Lorcana ink emblems, and then they'll probably dual color to get me back in.
Yeah.
And I got distracted. I don't even remember what I was
You're
talking about. Worlds. Oh, yeah, so the tour, they had like a bunch of years of Disney pins on the wall, like countless, and like multiple people were trying to look at it, and they're like, nope, come over here, let's talk about Roy Disney, over here, which is like, sure, it was nice enough to hear about Roy Disney, but I also wanted to look at the pins.
Yeah,
I don't know, it would have been cool to be if it was a ride, honestly. Like, just put us on a cart, let me sit. That's the thing. I stood too much that day.
Yeah.
Very fair.
I'm old now. I can't be standing all day.
Yeah. I've never been to Disney, so I lived vicariously through everybody posting about being at Disney and the videos and stuff. Like, it seemed like a good time. It seemed like it was pretty hot. It seems like yeah, I mean, I could see the pool being very relaxing.
Very appetizing.
Yeah, really.
Great.
So many pictures I need to post still from Disney, actually, and Worlds, and then the last week's PPG and all these events. So just have not been posting the pictures as I should.
Oh.
And we lost Alex.
Well, I'm sure they'll be right back. I'll keep an eye on this just in case. Oh, there they are. Wonderful. You're back.
Yeah, you know, I had to go Tinkerbell away. And then I decided that, you know, that wish was small enough. I could just come back.
Oh,
Came back in 420p because this is very pixelated right now.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's better. All right. So yeah, I find you just complain about internet issues and then it fixes itself, or it just shuts off.
Man, this AI is getting more and more scary. So you went on the tour. Was this like, it's so cool that they made it okay to bring your family and to turn this into
my wife and child. My wife could have gone on the tour, but it is an 18 or over tour because we go underneath Disney. I think I'm allowed to talk about what I saw on the tour. They can say I didn't see it, whatever. You go over and you see everything backstage, and there were areas that like I could see you like, yeah, you don't want a little kid running off and getting hurt in the backstage area. Like it's like a factory basically. If you've ever worked in my dad worked at Kawasaki, which makes motorcycles and jet skis and all sorts of stuff. And I remember going on tours there. Like it wasn't running, but I could like, yeah, you don't want kids in there easily to get hurt.
Yeah.
For sure. So the tour is like not necessarily to my liking. I heard other people dipped out of the tour. I apparently should have. My wife and I should have swapped places. Honestly, she would have enjoyed it. She would have been like, oh, 2 hours away from our son, while I would have been riding rides with our kid. Right. And that's the other thing is my son is very impatient. And we did not buy lightning passes. So we only went on rides that were like 5 to 10 minutes. And then it got real busy and we noped out of there.
Yeah.
Massive shout outs to JDZ and his wife, who did not want to ride on Tron for a second time. So she gave me her like fast pass thing and I rode with JDZ. Got a really funny picture of it on the Twitter.
Nice.
But overall, Worlds was fantastic. Like the trip was great. My wife decided she was a resort girly. We could easily just live at resorts for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
So I just now have to do well enough at anything to be able to travel from like one resort location to another. And
Yeah.
We have faith in you.
Oh, thank you. She was almost giving me crap this weekend because I wanted to go to Arkansas. I think there's a 8K out there, and Sky is going to be driving down, and I'm like, oh, let's go. This is easy. This is fun. 6 hours away. Let's go.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, well, you and Theo, my son's like, you have a suit fitting for your sister's wedding, and I already told you I had plans on Saturday and Sunday. It's like I know that my mother-in-law would want to babysit, but
Yeah.
alas, I can't go out of town every weekend, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, I struggle with the same thing. I totally get it. My partner told me the other day, because I travel for work, and I travel across the US for work, and then I travel for Lorcana.
Right.
And she was like, I love that you travel, and that's awesome. However, I think I'm going with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, we can make that happen.
Yeah.
But like, what do we mean? And she was like, so when you go to the international competition, because our international competition this year is in Athens, Greece. She was like, I'm going. I was like,
Bet.
so I told my boss, and my boss was like, okay, we can probably make that happen. And I was like, wow, I love that this is just going to manifest here. Because she's like, no, you're gone all the time. I want to go.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say she was going to go travel for Lorcana.
Oh.
Same.
So, yeah, kind of. We can talk about ticket sales real quick if we want to. So
Attendees are unlimited, right?
So I got on there, right? And I had been refreshing for over an hour. I got on early like other people, and it crashed, and then I got the information to switch sites at the last minute. I did that. I got on. I never saw a competitor badge option. Like, it was grayed out the whole time, every time I refreshed. But I saw the attendee badge, so I snagged an attendee badge because she would like to go to the DLC in Milwaukee. And so I was like, it's easier to get one badge than to get two badges.
Mm-hmm.
And so she could likely be traveling to Milwaukee. I say could because if I do not get a competitor badge, then, well, that's my badge. But yeah, it is one of those things. Like, she's definitely more of the collector in Lorcana than the actual like playing piece of it. But she does enjoy the game, enjoys playing it, just not against people she doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how she deals with it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, my partner supports me.
All the games.
Right. My partner supports me in Lorcana, and I support him in Star Wars Unlimited. So we're going to the Galactic Championship next weekend. I'm trying real hard to get
play as well.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not as competitive as I am in Lorcana, but I'm coming in with some side spice. I'm bringing back Fennec Shand. I think it's going to be fun. Try to surprise people.
I have not. Yeah, I don't know how to play that game, so that went right over my head.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. But it's not my main space. I'm certainly one of those adult Disney people. And so having dabbled in Magic a little bit over the years, when they came out with the Disney TCG, I was all over it. I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for, right? So you get to Worlds, you get to do this great thing with your family out there. You get to have this vacation, and then it's go time. Tell us what that was like.
Well, I was I looked through my sealed pool, and I was pretty happy with what I saw. It looked better than almost any pool that I had opened in prepping, and it had Cusca whale, which I felt a lot of people underrated, and it had shown in testing to just, if you had the cards with it, it was insane. And I had 3 or 4 cards that just synergized with it really well. So I was pretty happy with that. I took out the cards that I thought were playable in the 3 colors I was going to play, counted up to 44 cards, quickly found 4 cards to cut, Went through, sleeved it up, filled out my deck registration sheet. It was done in about 10 minutes.
Wow.
So then I double checked everything because I had 50 more minutes, so might as well. And I went through everything 2 or 3 more times, double checked a few cards. I did end up changing, I think, maybe one card. In the next like 10 minutes, I did that. And then I decided it was good enough, and I was still the first one to be done. Kurt came out a little bit later and was upset that he wasn't the first one done, which was funny.
Nice.
And it was quite unfortunate afterwards because I still think my deck was pretty good, and I built it out of the pool the way I wanted to. I saw a lot of pools that were very good. When you lose to multiple legendaries, it's like Shark and Rapunzel in the same list that had over 12 evasives. That was just hands down more powerful than every deck you played against in the thing. There were a lot of very powerful pools and some very good players. Like that pool I played against, I was 1-1 in limited already. So like they had lost, I think, to Ed, and Ed's deck was not anything too insane. It was good. You know, he played the cards that he should be playing, and he played properly, and he won off of it. I assume he just curved out and beat down. I was missing some of the removal, possibly. Like if there are some things about my deck I would like better is just some more interaction than I had. I mean, I did have Elsa 5, and it just felt frustrating that you would be like, oh, this is a great play, big advantage, big advantage, big advantage. I'm just kind of out of steam, but my opponent is still just top decking 5-cost 5/5s. And like I did feel like I kind of lost to that once or twice, but it just, that's limited. It is that way sometimes. The first round in game 1, I crushed my opponent. I think I had Bellwether and Cusco out, so every turn I was inking, bouncing one of my 2 drops, drawing a card, getting a free quest before I bounce it, giving their current character they just played Reckless, exerting and challenging with like a gigantic character that they have to Reckless into, and just like dominated the game and easily won. They sided out both Hades. They said that if they were getting to that point in the game, they were going to lose because I would, whatever, you know, they thought that the long game is not what they wanted. In games 2 and 3, they went 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, 5 drop, 5 drop, 5 drop is kind of how it felt. And well, I lost from there. I couldn't answer everything they had. And in game 3, I never drew my Cusco and I never drew my Bellwether. And there was like 3 or 4 turns that I kind of needed anything to stabilize, and I didn't hit it. And that happens. It was a 50-card deck. It's singleton, basically. I mean, you could have a few duplicates. And so that was like the limited experience. I think I comboed off on my next round opponent like 2 games in a row, or 2 of the 3 games. Cusco Whale does dirty things.
It's true.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
And then I got Shark Rapunzel. And I mean, I even took out a Shark and a Fidget with a single Tug of War. And I still lost that game.
Rough.
So
I mean, that's
then,
day, right? There's always going to be that element of chance, no matter how good you are, no matter how good your opponent is. You always have a chance because there is that element of chance.
Yep. If their deck is better and they draw better, sure. Like I could have drawn a lot better and maybe done better. But you don't draw perfect every game. You don't always have Diablo shift opens. It helps when you do. And you'll probably win the event if you play well and always have those. And then we got to Constructed, and Sailor and I played the same 181 over the 3 decks. And yes, we did get convinced to play a 61 card deck, and that was all right. It was the items list. I was not going to fight it. I think if I had kept playing the deck maybe for longer, I might have been able to cut a single card. But realistically, we really, really, really wanted to run 4 hideaways. That's how you don't lose to DKP, and that's how you win the mirror. Is the Shark, DKP Shark, they play a bunch of manners, and like if they aggressively do that, you kind of get out tempoed. You can deal with one, but if they play one then another, then it can be too much.
Yeah.
So what would happen is we kind of let the first one stay, we ignore it for a turn or two because that's fine, and then they commit another one or they commit something else, we beat prep and we hide away. We hide away when we have the extra 2. We're still setting up for a turn to draw 1,000 cards off of workshop triggers and doing stuff like that. So that was like the items list. We were maximum on workshops. We were playing we were not playing the How Far I'll Go Shark hybrid list. We weren't even playing Tamatoa 6. We were all in on the item combo, and then using Visions of the Future and Develop Your Brain to find those workshops. And the mirror is basically on who draws more workshops. And since we had 4 hideaways in the mirror, we could hit their workshops, and they can't play their dime. And sometimes there's a few people who didn't even have a hideaway. And since it's open deck list, you know this right away. So then you can just put your dime into play as soon as you want, and then you're going to win the game if they don't win the game. Like the inevitability is there. And then we played a super hyper aggro deck. We wanted a deck that we could always win with on the play, and I lost once with it on the play. Against, I mean, I had kind of a mid draw, and then I had a decision where I was like, I could do this or this, and then I chose this, and I drew an uninkable and couldn't do the thing I wanted to do, and it was like an uninkable of the worst sorts because it was the exact ink cost that had I done my other play, it would have let me double carded the next turn, which was like, oh, if I draw a good 1-drop, I could do this. I'm like, no, I'll do this. And I got to like 18 before they stabilized. And my opponent, it was Teo Time, said that he never loses to aggro with the deck. It was it was a little bit of a different version of like an evasive anti-character Ruby Amethyst list. But once the Pirate's Life start coming out, it's like, all right, I'm got it here.
So was it your performance that made you decide I'm going to PPG the next weekend in Fort Worth?
Well, no.
Competitors that did.
Woo! What a turnaround.
I did not get to play Steel at all. It was banned 4 rounds in a row, so I was like, oh, I'm going to go play Emerald Steel. I think it was when my wife was like, oh, you shouldn't do Denver, or you shouldn't do Texas. I don't know. And then later I found out she only said that because she thought we didn't have money. And I was like, well, look. we're going to get money. And I sold the goodie bag and a bunch of stuff that they gave us before the event, I think it was before the event. I think it was the Friday of the event. And when they gave us the goodie bag, and I got enough money from that I was like, look, this paid for everything. Like, she was just all worried because, yes, they paid for me to fly down there, but they did not pay for the +1 or my child, which is reasonable, you know. Like, otherwise, all of a sudden, everyone starts getting married and having kids, and like, wow, why aren't you paying for all 5 of my children to come to this event, you know?
Sure.
And flying out of Nebraska is a little more expensive just because we only have the big airlines. Occasionally we get some cheap ones, and that's actually what ended up happening for Worlds. Speaking of, I need to double check to make sure they reimburse my flight there. I forgot about that because I had to pay for my own flight because of the airline I chose, and they were going to reimburse it. So that way my wife and I could fly together. And it saved like $500 or $600.
Nice.
Because United is insanely expensive, and Allegiant, I think is what it's called. They fly out of Omaha like once a week or something like that, and it just happened to line up on the day we needed. So I was like, let's go.
Winning. Wonderful. So you were able to play your deck that you wanted to play at PPG.
Did terrible.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Like, the whole time I'm losing, I'm thinking, I was like, man, thank goodness they banned this deck, right? Like, I mean, the deck is great. And the reason they ban it is because it can beat anything. You can get those great draws, and a lot of people joke that Emerald Steel loses to itself, and sometimes that can happen. Other times, your opponent draws their fourth Be Prepared, their third Sisu, after you've discarded and played through every other one the turn before. You're about to draw 5 cards, and it won't matter what they do, and that happened a few times. And DKP changed the game, actually.
Yeah.
Shark was a lot easier of a matchup before they were playing one Carpetbag.
Yep.
I lost a Carpetbag like 5 or 6 times over the weekend at PPG. Everyone was playing Ruby Sapphire and playing Carpetbag in Shark or Items. They played one of them both, and it was just so irritating. It's just like, okay. I remember there was a turn I played Pete because I knew my opponent had a How Far I'll Go. And so I play Pete and I pass. And then they tried to play the How Far I'll Go, and I was like, oh, no. And they're like, oh, sorry. They take it back and they think for a second. And then they play the Carpetbag instead. And I'm just like, no, please play the How Far I'll Go instead. Play the How Far I'll Go instead. No, I'll discard that from your hand. Oh, no.
You said,
like, why did I play the Pete?
Pete's bad. Never mind. Wrong 3 draw.
I forgot the trigger. I swear.
Yeah, no, that's wild. How did you feel about like after the weekend, having had like your trip to Worlds and then turn around, go to Dallas, and then turn around and come home?
Not to mention the months of prep and like lead up to getting ready for Worlds.
It was one interesting thing is like testing for Worlds was a vacation in itself. Because I wasn't streaming every day. Yeah. So the time that I would be streaming, I was playing games with Pierre, Sailor, and we were playing for X amount of time, depending on how early I would wake up. You gotta just like chill and relax all day with one of your good friends and then play games. For a whole month was pretty nice. Definitely a good way to do things. So then Worlds happens. That was fun. And then PPG happens, and we drove down there. So that's like an 8+ hour car ride that I slept through quite a bit of. And then the parts I didn't sleep through was just getting to chill and relax with friends again. So that aspect was really nice. I'm a degenerate, so I love the traveling on the weekends. I'm a weekend warrior. I love it. I live for that. I'm a social butterfly at times. So I did miss the gathering aspect. It's like you come to play cards and you stay for the gathering. And that was slightly missing at Worlds. Luckily, I enjoy hanging now with my wife and kids. So that, that was fun. And, I knew most of the World's competitors. I knew almost every single NA competitor, and I have heard of or interacted with a few times of most of the EU competitors. So that was fun. Having lunch, and then it kind of felt like not Mean Girls, but like a weird, like back in the cafeteria at school where it's like clicky a little bit, like scene where it's like, oh, well, these people, their main language is like Italian. So they're obviously going to sit next to each other because you can actually have a conversation in your native language. It makes perfect sense, and I may or may not have sat with, some game designers, had them sign our Mickeys. Pierre and I each had Ryan and Steve sign our 2 signature Mickeys that we played in our Hyper Aggro deck. So that was nice. It would have been nice if it gave us better luck, but I obviously kid. So getting to eat breakfast, I think it was breakfast, not lunch. One of the 2 with them, and then like the casters. That was awesome. So I interact with a lot of the casters on Discord. So being able to meet them in person was very nice.
Nice.
So you talk a lot about the prep and how fun it is. You're a member of Maelstrom. Can you talk a little bit about like what the team means to you, what being on a team means to you, how you found yourself into that? Sounds like it's really a valuable piece of the whole experience for you.
So like if we want to be surgical about it, it's like you can look from like the competitive aspect of like what does the team do for me, and then you can look at it from a more of a social aspect, and what do I and what does it do for me there. So from a competitive aspect, being on a team has been insanely invaluable. Like it's so valuable. Just from having people whose skill level being able to play games with you whenever you want to, being able to bounce ideas off, have people to test, give you lists to play. Like, I mean, sure, I tout about how I made Amber Steel song in set one, but like I played Bannable's list of Ember Steel. I mean, sure, Zan made it, or Dale Bolito made it, or whoever originally made it. But by the time Seattle came around and I needed to copy a list, I took, Derek's list. And that the ability to trust that every card is in here, and he cuts this fourth hypnotize for a baboom of all cards, it's like, he says this is the reason why, I'll believe him and I'll trust him, and you can't necessarily do that with every list you find online, every stranger. And then just having people then also to travel with, to test with constantly. You're just not going to get that being solo. Like, you just have to get so lucky to just naturally be friends with people who are that good, that want to test with you all the time, that not being on a team like is punishing. Now, granted, I'm also blessed in the aspect that I started playing Lorcana very early in the Pixelborn days, and then I joined the Discord, so I have networked so much that I know so many of the best players in the world that I could go do things that other people can't necessarily do. So in that regard, I'd also say joining any community should be beneficial for you. Just from the competitive aspect. But then we go to like the social aspect. It's been a blast. I love them. They're like brothers to me, basically. Try not to get too much in it. I don't know, it's that corporate speak, right? It's like they started, we're a family. It's like all of a sudden I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't know why, but I don't trust you. But like, you get to hang out with these people all the time. You're rooming with them, they become your family, brothers, sisters, whatever. I think we all got, maybe it's a sore subject, we all got tickets to Milwaukee, so we're all sorry, Alex.
We
are gonna get you a ticket. We're gonna get you a ticket.
We're manifesting.
And yes, yes.
One person on our team saw that someone posted that they were up, or they checked, they pinged. That was the first ping I saw about it. And then I saw other pings, but I was too busy being like try to sign up. And then I go back and I saw like 4 or 5 pings from different Discords. And it's like, well, I hope you got one of the first pings, or you were in one that knew this.
Yeah.
And so like, I guess you could say there is a bonus of it. Logan didn't get one. He was just like, I walk out of my shower to 100 pings, and it's just like,
yeah.
I have my phone in my shower. Like, if my phone was pinging that many times, I'm signing up in the shower. But I am attached to my digital baby phone, so
absolutely. I was on the site at 8 in the morning refreshing because it was already starting to crash at 8:10. I was just like, oh boy.
I was on I was on that website your time at 8 a.m. because I didn't know when it was gonna start. So I was just like, you know what? Time zones are difficult. So I woke up, it said it was 10 a.m. I checked the site, it was just like it was yesterday. I'm just sitting in bed, just waking up, just looking on my phone, relaxing for a second. Ping, it's up. Go, 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 go. Ping, ping. Go back, click over to look over the other window I had open before, refresh. There's a +1 thing. So I click it, go to the next screen. Boom, PayPal, like loads for a second, loads, have to refresh, loads, checked out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, 3 minutes later. And then 4 minutes after that, it was crashed.
Yeah.
And being on early is so important because I mean, I've never participated in any kind of event that sells out this fast. We're talking about selling out in a matter of minutes,
30
right?
seconds. Like,
So like if there's any kind of technological thing, even if it puts it up 2 minutes early, that's still not enough time if you go there at the time. So I'm always on early just in case. We will get you a ticket, Alex. We're going to figure it out.
And I hear it.
It's not
gonna
You know,
happen.
I did the
It's-
thing. I think for me, because I wasn't in the Pastimes Discord and everyone who knew about it, they knew and they went to Eventbrite to get their ticket and then went to tell people, which makes sense. If I was in the same position, that's what I would do. So I got told, I think it was 9:01 that we got the message, and I went, oh, and I clicked and
that's
went.
still too late.
Yeah. And I was refreshing like nobody's business. I had my laptop, I had my phone. I'm literally just like,
So
my partners were at work, so I was trying to get tickets for them and me. I'm like, refresh.
I think the Eventbrite, moving to Eventbrite, I think hurt people.
Yeah.
Because the way Eventbrite is set up, if you're not logged in and you click add a ticket, and I don't know how many windows you can do that, but if you're using like a laptop, a phone, and that, you could get 3 separate tickets and lock them all for yourself.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's one of the reasons why they moved off of Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Right.
So then the last second going there, and then less people knowing, put more people who are in the know to ability to grab for other people, I think.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, like while it was handled poorly, and I think that the internet has really talked
Handled
about
that.
I think the thing I feel the most badly about, or the part of the community I feel the most badly for, are the parents who spent a lot of time setting up child pastime accounts so that they could get everyone's thing. Like I know somebody who had 4 accounts and didn't get a single ticket. And it's really frustrating because this felt like a situation where ableism, sexism, being affluent, being connected, really, like all of those things affect us daily, but it felt like it was very obvious. Like I was annoyed. I like text Luke was like, did you get a ticket?
Yeah, I mean, I got a ticket and I was annoyed purely from that accessibility standpoint, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that I think was really bad about it was the lack of a cross-platform announcement. I think that because we are now saying only people who are Discord literate, who are in these servers and who are connected, like we also have our team, and our teammates also were pinging us being like, go here, it's moved, right? Like,
Well,
I don't think this will happen again. I think this was like a one-off. I believe that anybody receiving that much of a wave of like just raw, right? Like they're not going to let that happen again, right?
Do you think they pulled the plug, or do you think it crashed? Yes, an accident happened, but do you think they pulled the plug on it, or do you think it crashed?
They pulled the plug.
Pastimes.
Yeah. When the forbidden message went up, also sidebar, somebody is making these. I say somebody.
Matified.
I know this somebody, but Matified is making these mats that are fantastic.
So good.
Plugging that here. I'm honestly considering getting one. I definitely don't need another mat. But when you got the forbidden message, it was like, oh. And I was like, oh no, they pulled it. But I assumed what was going to happen was that they were going to pause sales.
Yes.
And then reconvene at another time, maybe even in the day. And I think that the lack of communication, which,
it feels like somebody panicked, right? It feels like somebody was like, oh no, we're going to lose the contract. Do something, quick, press the button. Wrong
lever. Wrong lever indeed. Like some coder or somebody messed up. I think I saw a screenshot that someone was just like, I can't remember what it was, but they basically said that they didn't trust one of the web designers of Pastimes or something, and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, heads up, check an hour early, because like who knows, maybe they'll mess up the thing. And like I checked that hour early, so there was like they were also a minute or two late, you know. Right. They were 58 minutes early, not an hour early.
Yeah,
right.
So it is interesting there that they pulled the plug, right?
mm-hmm.
So if they pulled the plug, then maybe their computer systems could handle the stress. Yeah. And that's fine. But there was a little bit of lag in the first few minutes before they pulled the plug.
Yeah, I mean, I posted on X at 8:11 a.m. that forbidden or that like crashed site thing. It was already crashing. I know I saw something come out from Disney or from Lorcana that said that it wasn't about the amount of traffic. It was some other website problem, which I am maybe inclined to believe if it was already crashing at 8:11, right? So I don't know.
The other problem was the miscoding of the time.
Yeah. And I think honestly, like I get the community frustration of like some people had access, like, you know, you talked about like you have a manager, which, you know, some teams like our team, we have a lot of people that do a lot of managing things, but we don't have a manager. We have like captains and co-captains and stuff like that, but nobody's in charge of that. And I think that this situation kind of taught us, okay, we need somebody who's in charge of that. And you also got a message that was like, hey, maybe check, wink, wink, check an hour early. And
I did not get that message.
Oh, sure.
Just clarifying.
Yes.
I saw a picture of that on Twitter.
Yes.
In reference to someone soft accusing us of having insider knowledge.
Yeah, I did hear that. Okay. I did hear that. I mean, people.
And then they step back a little of it, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, how angry are you gonna be? You didn't get a ticket, and then someone's like, "Oh, they didn't tell you that it was going early." Like, yeah, I'd be pretty irate myself.
Sure.
So that's fine if there was actually insider knowledge. But I know a lot of people, and I didn't hear about that. So maybe people don't like me, but.
I didn't realize it was somebody coming for y'all's throat. I heard the rumor even before that. Yeah. And I think honestly, like if that happened, that sucks. It's crappy. It sucks. But I think it is that perception that it was not fair that really frustrated people. And I think at the moment that they said, okay, we know at least, I think on the Lorecast, Greg was like, you know, we know at least like 300 tickets, but we don't know how many more, like whatever that number was, that have either been held back or like are tied to two account or the same account. And we have to figure that out. I think that they were doing damage control, and this is still a new game and we're working through it in an age where anytime you try to get a ticket for anything bid, like it does just sell out like concert tickets. And this is unprecedented for TCGs in some way. So like, I think there should be some grace there. I also think that like when we talk about things like teams and communities, we rely on each other to share that information. And this is a key situation in which we should not have had to rely on our community members. We should have heard this from the top down. And I think that they know that. And I think that unfortunately they may not have had the information at the time that they could have said something because a third party was doing the thing. Another contract was there. And so those are things I think people should remember. Because it's not just one person who says, I'm doing the thing. Maybe it was, and that's why Eventbrite happened the way it did. But like, that's generally not the case. And also nobody is like, this is okay.
Yeah. I mean, historically, one thing I know that I can count on is that if we go to Ravensburger and we say, hey, this sucks and here's the reasons why, they actually care enough to at least attempt to make it better. And that's more than I can say for a lot of organizations out there, right? So like, I'm going to keep giving them my good faith because I believe they really want this to succeed and they care about the community and about this thing that's building enough to want to make change and not just to be like, well, it is what it is. Sorry, you didn't get sorry about your luck. You know what I mean? I don't know that there's a whole lot they can do retroactively, but I do believe that they'll take this information and apply it to the next one.
And Alex will get a competitor badge because
And Alex will get a competitor badge.
The universe wants me to.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, it's not that hard. I've gotten 7 DLC tickets so far.
Ah.
And, like, all you have to do is click the button. Come on.
Yeah, I know. We've been having conversations. We're working on it. We're doing exercises every day, some thumb push-ups.
So I think one of the crazy things is, don't you remember Texas? Like, was like a week or so out. It took like a week plus to sell out of tickets.
So it is wild because like Atlanta sold out like that, and then there were tickets being shuffled. And I say shuffled among people who were like, I'm going to send it. I'm going to undo mine. You can get it, Chicago.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Texas happened. And it's funny because I was moving from Texas to Portland. And then I was going to fly back in 3 weeks to compete. And I was like, well, that's what I'm doing. My partner was like, we literally are escaping. And I was like, they put the DLC here. And that's actually where Wonderland and I met. Wonderland played the deck that I wanted to play, and I played the deck that everyone played. And I didn't get to play that game. Turn 2, Shift Queen, Sing Whole New World, real bad against Bucky.
I'm a jerk.
Yeah, and so, was so sweet. Was just like, I'm so sorry. Shift, sing. Do it again. Shift, sing. I was like,
do it again.
I was like, this is so fun. But I don't know. I think it isn't just a monolithic experience of like, nobody gets the tickets they want. Like, people are going to get tickets. I know a lot of people who are like, oh, we won a lottery. I don't. No. I think there are a lot of people that don't actually want a lottery. They just wanted a ticket. And I know Greg talked about like, well, we're exploring this option of like what we did for first chapter, but like, as somebody that won that lottery, didn't think I was going to, I was excited. However, I immediately felt bad for everybody who didn't. And then I went when he was talking, I was like, so if I won the lottery for a first chapter box, does that mean that I now have less of a chance to get a competitor badge for this? Because if so, that changes what people enter.
I mean, you should send them an email saying that. I really think that they care, and maybe they haven't thought about that, right? I think a wait list would be great. I think that anytime that I haven't gotten I've actually really lucked out. I got tickets to 6 now DLCs on sale day. I am quite persistent in my efforts though, and I will keep refreshing for like an hour. But I have a lot of friends who didn't, and almost all of them came off of the wait list eventually at some point. So I think having a wait list, because there's a lot of people who in the rush go and buy a ticket because they really want to go and then have to work that weekend or get a school project that they can't get away from, or their kids all of a sudden have some concert that weekend that they have to go to. Like, there's really no way for us to anticipate the needs of that particular weekend 100%, right? I ended up having to cancel Fort Worth literally 4 days before, like, I couldn't refund my ticket, right? Because something came up, right? It just happens, So it's like, if they put up a wait list, at least there's some hope still out there for people who weren't able to get the ticket, instead of this like just cut off, sorry, you're done.
Yeah. They're not doing the wait list, but I thought that you could still randomly see it for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the plan, it sounds like. And now that's going to change to a degree, but I don't know to what. But it basically, you have to be looking at that website or in the Discord. Which is good now that people know. I think the other thing that could help bridge this gap, because aside from this one in Atlanta, I got my tickets for the other ones. And like, I don't know, like this felt really bad for the communication piece of it. But the thing, like having judged and like worked a DLC and also playing at the DLCs, the thing that could be done too to mitigate some of this is people always relinquish tickets or they don't show up, if they sold them at the door or allowed for attendees to switch out for competitor badges that aren't being utilized, I think that would make a lot of people very happy.
Yeah, every single one that I was at had a few empty spots when we actually popped off.
So the only thing that could be an issue with that is I feel like they did that at Continentals for the LCQs. And 2 people got booted from LCQs. Basically, here's some promos. Thanks for showing up. And I know one of those people, and they were not very happy. So that kind of situation could occur. But probably less troublesome on a DLC than an LCQ where it's single elimination.
Well, and I think that then we just need people who are looking at those books better, because that type of situation is absolutely avoidable. Like, I run a lot of big tournaments for speech and debate, which is a different world, but functions very similarly, surprisingly. And
you're going to Greece?
Huh?
And you're going to Greece?
I'm going to Greece. Exactly. I'm not running that one, but like the deal with it, right, is that you have to have somebody that is their job. Their job is to make sure that there is not overselling, there is not double dipping. And if you don't have someone in that position, which no DLC has had, because that's not the model that they were utilizing, and that's totally fine. But if you have somebody who's not dedicated to just that task, that's when you get those type of situations, which cause more issue and more hurt. Transitioning out of ticket sales and what we think could happen in the future as it relates to that, the future is right upon us with set rotation and DLC season 2 that's happening, like we've talked about a little bit. What are some of your thoughts about this first set rotation being fabled and what that'll bring to the game, especially considering your knowledge with TCGs and other TCGs that have rotation?
So I'll start off by saying I highly support it. It's definitely needed to keep things fresh and to mitigate power level. The only downside is there will be times that it's not fun. But realistically, that would happen without the rotation anyways. And I'm really happy they made Infinity at the same time. That's going to make it that you don't like core constructed. I hope for your sake that you like Infinity, you can play that instead. If there's a little bit of a lull. So normally, if there's like 2 or 3 supported formats, you can normally find one of them to play that's fun at the time. Like when I played Magic, I mostly played Modern. The it's kind of like what Infinity was. The archetypes kind of stayed the same. And I mean, I guess I'll go off on a tangent. They killed the game for me when they started printing cards directly to the old format. So how I'm going to relate this to Lorcana is please, please, please do not print any product that does not go directly to standard only. Do not make direct to Infinity. Do not make direct to whatever the multiplayer format is. Like, only make normal core constructed Lorcana cards. Please. Please. That'll make everything else fine. The players will make their multiplayer formats out of the cards of the power level you create. We don't need people designing things that destroy loved formats. All right. Sorry about that tangent. You'll probably edit it out. I'm really excited for the rotation as well. Tinkerbell's staying, and any format where Tinkerbell Giant Fairy is good, I think is a good format because she's just slow enough. As long as they're not ramping her out. Sure, Blue Steel, I did not care for Sapphire Steel singing A Whole New World with that. And you know, there's a pretty big chance that Whole New World is not going to be around. To some people's dismay, to others pleasure and happiness. You know, each their own.
I don't know. I like the 2 new options that they gave us, the like Desperate Plan and the other one, I think.
Beyond the Horizon.
Beyond the Horizon. That's it. I'm happy with those. I am a little sad to say goodbye to Steel Song. I called my deck for this set the farewell tour.
It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's just going to be a little different.
Totally.
If I was a betting man, I'd bet money they'll probably reprint Strength or Raging Fire. My reasoning on this is it's very frustrating if they have strength. Kitty, quit it. It's you still have to commit to play it right. It's a more fair, balanced removal. It's like, sure, it's a singable smash. Maybe they'll make a new smash. Give me a singable smash, always 3.
Yep.
I'm fine with that, I think. Maybe make a storm that doesn't draw a card. Do you think a storm that gained a lore would be too good? I actually think it'd be maybe balanced.
I think it would be pretty good, especially if we're like, losing GOAT. And even if we don't lose GOAT, quite frankly.
You still have Gloyd. You go to home.
That's fine. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited to see things shift up a little bit. I think, given my experience with this being the first real like competitive TCG that I've played, and being able to get in at the beginning, essentially, I have this very lucky experience of being able to grow with the game. And I think that I'm ready to try and see new pairings come out and to try and see a new meta emerge. And I'm excited about that.
What if Steel Song was Ruby Steel?
Ooh.
Have you played with Lilo yet?
I have.
She is a blast.
Oh, good.
I'm excited for the rotation because of Lilo.
Yes.
Like, she just doesn't see play right now. Like was the end of my sentence. I know that's period.
One of the most fun decks that we brewed up and tested at Worlds and spent too much time on, which was my fault because I did not want to let it die, was Emerald Ruby. And it was basically double singing Sudden Chill and then playing like a Hypnotize and then playing Lilo, readying your Ursula 3 and then playing something else and just doing some fun stuff. We did a Ruby, we didn't test this one for Worlds, but I know Sky had built a Ruby Steel deck to try to basically sing Whole New World, play Lilo, ready it, sing it again. And then I was trying to play it's like a 2-cost song that you ready a character and draw a card if they're damaged or something like that. Or you always draw a card and you ready it if it's damaged, I think. And it's like, all right, so then we Teeth and Ambitions first to put damage on our character. Then we ready it with this so we can Ursula double sing here and then ready both of the characters. And it's like,
so good.
And you just can't do that currently. The format is too degenerately strong. And Worlds showed us that we really, really need them to maintain some steel removal because with almost everyone banning steel, the testing for Worlds, like I remember RMB playing a game where he was just like, I hate this format. Like I would not want to play this game without steel in it. And it's because every single deck is like, not every, but a majority of the decks are, I'm going to be as aggressive and fast as I can be, and you can never beat me on the draw. And that's what we brought. We brought that hyper aggro deck, and then we brought our combo deck that can beat some things on the draw and or like is just so powerful. It's like the control deck that can do that. And so we find that the format devolves down to shark control or item control to go over the head of shark, but still both decks playing 4 Be Prepareds and Sisus to answer the hyper aggressive decks. And that's all there was. And it's like, where's the mid-range? Well, you need steel to allow mid-range piles to actually be part of the game.
For sure.
So just remember, I think it was LD posted somewhere. He was like, who would have thought that like Cindy Storm was keeping us from this? Like, Cindy Storm was like the savior of Lorcana. Like everyone hated it, but like really, the game could have been so not good without it.
Like for facts, I'm really excited for Fabled, in that it's going to allow for a change to the game. I'm a little worried about the amount of reprints, and part of that is because I don't know what's all being reprinted because we don't know that yet. And like, I think that there are some really cool cards that could be reprinted, just like everyone else. And I think that there are some really great cards that I might want to play, but that doesn't mean they should be reprinted because, quite
Prince
frankly,
John.
we already have that thing. Yeah, yeah. I like there's someone on our team that literally said, if Prince John gets reprinted, I'm out of the game.
I've heard that a few times.
Is that, I don't know. I don't have so many bad experiences with Prince John. I mean, against me personally.
I would love it if they gave us a inkable Prince John that did not have Ward. Just take Ward off of Prince John and it's fine. Let people interact with it. Like, it's so frustrating that the three most busted Ward cards in the game are all Emerald. It was like Bucky, Prince John, Muses, and you could literally go 2, 3, 4 that. Granted, Muses didn't really synergize with Bucky, but anyways, they're so degenerate, and Muses is fringe almost too good. Because and if you're a Steel Song player, CC aggro baby, like, I'm sure you think Muses is probably too good.
I definitely do. I don't like Muses at all.
Exactly. And so when your whole engine is based on a Ward character, that your opponent cannot play the game anymore. They cannot interact. Like, what am I? Oh, you're supposed. Oh, I'm supposed to use my characters can challenge readied characters. Those are the abilities I'm supposed to use that have been nerfed into the ground. I think the most playable ones we've had is a 7-drop Shift 5 Cindy or a 7-drop Prince Arthur, which maybe that's a good thing. I have not tested the game with multiple like inkable make my character challenge ready things. I'm sure I would hate it actually, but you know what? It'd be a clear check to Bucky and Prince John if half the time people just challenge it.
Yeah,
like
totally.
It's like how Diablo is right now. It's like, this card is insanely powerful.
Yeah.
But every single deck that sees play has an answer to Diablo in a sort. Like they're shrinking it and then playing Baby Sisu. They're playing Peter Pan and just challenging it. You know, there's so many ways to answer Diablo that it's fair, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have one more question for you before we wrap up today, and that's a little bit about your experience, essentially as a dude running through multiple TCG communities. There's obviously a gender disparity that happens within community in the TCG world. What is your experience in the Lorcana community versus other communities? You know, a lot of our people out there that are watching Rotten to the Lore have a little bit of hesitancy coming into TCG community because of so many of the stereotypes that they've heard over the years. Can you speak to that?
Bros. Magic
people
bros.
suck. People are not very pleasant. I would have to say that Lorcana seems to have a lot of players from other card games who wanted to bond with their partners, and their partners maybe are not traditional nerdy card game players, but like Disney. That a lot of those players moved over. Disney adults themselves moved over. Greedy people like me who just thought Disney backing could make some money moved over. But I think a lot of the people who moved over from other games are veteran enough that, you know, we're not 18-year-old jerks most of the time. I mean, some of us still are, and that's an issue, but I think a lot of us have matured. So that's Lorcana has felt a lot better. I'll say that for sure. It seems a lot more welcoming. There's still occasionally rotten apples, and that's going to happen anywhere. But luckily, there's enough people that I think in the Lorcana scene that if they saw it happening would speak up, or there's places that you can chat with that. Coming to a new card store, well, that's going to be rough. Because it really depends on your LGS there. You walk in, you see, it depends on what kind of flag you see. Hopefully it's an LGBTQ. I just kind of butchered that there, but a nice rainbow flag when you walk in is definitely a good sign. And you'll feel a little bit more welcomed that way, I'm pretty sure. But sometimes you're going to walk down into a damp, dirty basement, and it's not gonna be welcoming looking, but even then you might be surprised. Nerds are not always terrible people. I think there's enough red flags that you'll be able to see pretty quickly to know whether or not you don't want to be there.
Yes.
But I think the Lorcana scene's been pretty good.
For me as a gender nonconforming person, one of the things that I see, because I think dude bros exist in this game because they exist in the world. But like, I think one of the biggest things that I've seen, which is different from Magic, which is, I mean, I left Magic for similar reasons, but like it is that people are generally willing to hear experiences. And I think one of the things, at least for me, because when you have conversations, a lot of times, white men particularly, but men generally, will say things because they think it applies, but they are only talking to other men, and you're not invited to that circle. And just like we were talking about, like, you couldn't get a ticket unless you knew the right people to know that you were supposed to move over. Same thing happens. And so even things like doing math, making sure that you are running purposeful cards and not just running a 72 card pile because you liked 72 cards, which happens a lot to people who generally are not assigned male at birth because they don't know. And I think that part of our channel really is trying to dive into this space of like demystifying when we say you need to have this many cards, here's why. When we're talking about what you do at events, decorum, things like that, washing your hands, I think this community is generally more open to talking about those things and making it a little more accessible than say like Magic. Like my first Magic tournament, I got told that I needed to concede to somebody because I didn't have the record to make it to top cut. And I was like, I don't even know what's happening. So I did. And that was just preying on me. And he even came up and was like, honestly, if you weren't a girl, which I'm not a girl, so kind of funny now. But if you weren't a girl, I wouldn't have asked you to concede. And I was like, that's so interesting and terrible at the same time. And you don't see it.
An extra level of rude that he bothered to tell you that after.
Well, I was in Texas.
Fair.
I ask people of all genders to concede to me.
Note, men.
Well, Wonderland, thank you so much for visiting us today and chatting and sharing your experiences. How can folks find you if they're looking for you?
You can find me under this name here, basically on all socials. I think it's even my Twitch name now. Gotta love the double V. It really, no one's jumped on that bandwagon yet.
All right, so let's jump into some starter deck play and see how we do this time.
I wonder if it'll be riveting.
I'm sure it will be very riveting. And maybe you'll win this time.
Well, I don't know about you, Cece, but that conversation was a very good conversation, and it's really energized me to try to win this starter deck play against you for once.
Yes, you're going to. I can feel it.
I sure hope so. I hope the madrigals are with me.
They have to be, right?
Right. Do you want to do high roll or low roll for first?
What would you like to do?
Let's do high roll.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a 11.
Woo!
Tiesies.
All right, let's try it again. I rolled a 6.
A 10. A 9.
Well, 6 is smaller than a 9.
That is, in fact, the way that it works. Yes.
Yeah.
How would you like to cut my deck?
Just one cut's fine. What about you?
Top, bottom, middle?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm gonna tap.
Beautiful.
Good luck.
Likewise, but not too much. Because this is getting insane. right. These are cards. We like cards.
We like cards. Why are you so expensive?
I was just thinking the same thing.
5 back.
I'm going to put 4 back.
Okay, I can work with this.
You know, I really love it when I throw cards back and somehow I receive them back to my hand.
That means they were meant to be. That you just don't know how that card is going to come through in the collection for you.
You're so right.
Yeah.
I sure hope you're right.
Would you like to cut my deck?
I'll tap.
Okay.
Would you like to cut mine?
I will also tap.
Beautiful.
All right. Let's start us off by inking. What does this say? Yeah, no. I'm going to ink Thebes.
Okay.
And I'm going to play Aladdin.
Ooh.
Swordsman. He's a 1/3. Pass.
Cool. Well, this should be interesting considering that I currently do not have a 1-drop. I will ink a Mickey Mouse and pass.
Draw for turn.
Personally, I think that was a great use of my turn. Starting off strong.
I will ink Ling, Imperial Soldier.
Okay.
And pay 2 for Aurora, Regal Princess. She's a 2/2 with 2 lore.
Okay.
I will quest Aladdin for 1 to go to 1.
If you must.
And pass.
All right. I will draw. I will ink a Sebastian. To play a Sebastian.
Yay.
And then I will pass.
Sebastian's lines are?
Oh, Sebastian is a Singer 4 and is a 2/2 quest for 1.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I've already set draw. I'm gonna ink Ariel.
All right.
And I'm going to pay 2 for Miss Kita in Bodyguard. And I will quest for 3, going to 4.
Yeah. Seems good.
Yes.
I will draw. These are cards of sorts. What is the stat line on the Kita?
2/3.
2/3. Okay. Well, going to ink an Antonio to play Eric. And then I will have Sebastian sing Poor Unfortunate Souls, which returns chosen character, item, or location with cost 2 or less to their player's hand. I will be returning the 2 quester. And then I will pass.
Okay. Ready, set, draw.
Oh, and Prince Eric is a 3/3.
I will, let's see, I have 3. I will ink Aurora, Tranquil Princess,
Right.
and pay 4 for Philoctetes. You say 2/2 and 3/3 over there?
Yes. And the 3/3 is a bodyguard.
And the 3/3 is a bodyguard. I see. Okay, well, I will trade. So Philoctetes says your hero characters gain Challenger +1.
Okay.
Kita is a hero, and she's going to challenge the bodyguard, and they will trade.
Okay.
Aladdin is also a hero, and he will challenge Sebastian and take 2 damage.
Okay.
And I will pass.
Wow. My board doesn't exist anymore. This is not boding well.
Maybe it's a curse.
Well, it do.
I am a villain.
Yeah, you're right. I will ink a Rolly to play a Hey Hey, which is a 2/1 that whenever this character is banished in a challenge, I return it to my hand. And then also Mirabelle Madrigal, which is a 2/2 quest for 1 and has support. And then I'll pass to you.
Okay. Draw. 3, 4. I will not ink. I will pay 3 for Flounder. Flounder is a 2/2 quester with support.
Okay.
It says if you have a character named Ariel in play, you pay 1 less to play this character. I do not. And then I will play 1 for another Aladdin. Put these guys here. And I will quest for 3. Going to 7.
All right.
Yes.
I will draw. That's a card that I do have access to play. I will play Camilo Madrigal, which is a 2/5. It reads, at the start of my turn, I may choose 1. Either this character gets +1 lore this turn, or this character gains Challenger +2 this turn.
Ooh, nice. That's a snazzy card.
You know, I like to think so. I will quest for 1 with Mirabelle. Go to 1. And then I will give my support to Hey Hey to make him a 4/1. And I will take out the Aladdin that is not currently damaged.
How?
Because he's a 4/1.
But the Aladdin that's not currently damaged was just played.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is the other card next? Oh, so sorry. What will you read me his
2/3.
A 2/3. That's right. Okay, I will take out that one. And then I will pass to you. You said how. Being asked right now.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I just don't understand how.
Yeah, valid. Yeah.
Okay. I will draw for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will pay. What are the stat lines on Mirabelle?
So Mirabelle is a 2/2, and then Camilo is 2/5.
Okay. I'm gonna pay 2 to play Aurora, the same Aurora from before, the 2 quester. And then I'm gonna pay 2 to play Mickey Mouse Standard Bearer. He's a 1/3, and it says when you play this character, chosen character gains Challenger +2 this turn.
Oof.
I'm gonna give it to this Aladdin right here, and I'm gonna go into Mirabelle.
All right.
2 damage back. Then I'm going to quest for 3.
Okay.
Go to 10 and pass.
Oof.
I have 1 card in hand.
All right. This is going in an unexpected fashion. Or is it expected? Oh, at the start of my turn, I needed to pick what Camilo was getting. It's the challenger.
Okay.
I don't love that, but I guess that's where we're at, friends. Yep. I will. Inca Felix to play a Marshmallow who is a 0/3, but plus for 1. This character gets +1 for each card in hand, so it would have been nicer to play earlier. And then the Hey returns.
Hey.
And then I will have Camilo take out Flounder. And I take back
2 damage. What's Camilo's stat line?
He is a 2/5.
Great. Thank you.
And then I will pass reluctantly to you.
Okay. Ready. Draw. I will pay 2 for Anna Braving the Storm. If you have another hero character in play, this character gains a lore. What is the right thing to do here? I feel like it does not make sense to kamikaze 3 of my people.
I think so. I think you should.
So I think I'm just going to quest for 4, go to 14.
Yeah.
Take what's coming my way.
Pretty valid to me. Yep.
And pass.
Camilo will choose Challenger +2 for the turn. Because really, what else am I doing? All right. Can you read me the stat lines of Aurora and then the card turns sideways next to Aurora?
Aurora is a 2/2 and Mickey Mouse is a 1/3.
And both quests for 1?
Aurora quests for 2, Mickey Mouse quests for 1.
Okay. Hey will take out Aurora.
Okay.
Then Hey will come back to my hand. This matters because this makes my
Yes.
Tis my only chance. I will take out the Mickey Mouse and take 1 damage back.
Yep.
And then Camilo will take out the undamaged Aladdin.
There's no undamaged Aladdin.
I am so goofy. The one with the least amount of damage on it is
both have 2 damage.
Oh my gosh, I just have bad eyes.
I'm just gonna take 1 away.
Yeah, you just pick. Because obviously,
I need to figure out a better lighting situation. If we're being honest,
it's okay. I'm going to ink an Elsa to play out a Camilo and Hey's back.
Hey.
And then I will pass to you.
Okay. Draw. Well, that feels unlikely. I'm going to pay 3 for Ariel. She's a 2/4. Whenever you play a song, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card.
Okay.
And I'm going to quest for 2 to 16.
All right.
Pass.
Will you read me Anna's text?
It says, oh, I guess I quest for 3.
Okay.
To 17.
Cool.
It says, if you have another hero character in play, this character gets +1 lore.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I was just like,
thank you. Thank you.
So I have 2 Camilo triggers that I have to do.
Yeah.
Which are, great. I what am I doing? This Camilo here. What is Anna?
Anna is a 1/4.
1/4. Of course she is. Yeah. She is well, this Camilo here will get the +1 lore for the turn. And is that this Camilo here will get the +2 challenger.
Great.
And then I'll draw my card.
Wonderful.
I will pay nothing yet because I know how card games work. I will quest for 2 with this Camilo.
Yes.
Go to 3. I will take out the Anna with this Camilo, and I will take back 1. Yeah, that seems fine. I will take out the Aladdin with Hey Hey. Hey Hey will come back to my hand, and I will pay 3 for Prince Eric in Bodyguard, and then 2 more for Hey Hey.
Yeah.
And then I will quest for 1 with Marshmallow to go to 4.
Hey.
Then I will pass to you.
Ready, set, draw.
Wow.
I will pay 1 for Robin Hood. Quest Ariel for 1 to 18 and pass.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, that makes some good sense. That Ariel is a what now?
Ariel is a 2/4.
Of course she is. 2/4 with 0 damage. A 2/4 we say. I will give this Camilo with 1 damage the +2 for the turn. And this Camilo with the 3 damage, the +1 lore for the turn. And then I'll draw. I will pay 1 for Augustin. There's my 1 drop that I have not seen all game. This Camilo will take out that Ariel and take 2 back. And then I will quest for 2, 3, 4, 5 to go to 9. And then I will pass. And Prince Eric is a 3/3 bodyguard.
Okay. I will pay 2 for Aurora. Quest for 1 to 19 and pass.
I'm going to give both Camilos +2 lore.
Yep.
And then I'll draw for turn. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Oh, I guess I could ready my characters. Wouldn't that be? Do? 19,
What are you at?
I'm at 9. And I can only quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I'll pay 4 for Dolores. She is a 3/3 that costs for 2. When I play this character, if my opponent has an exerted character in play, I get to draw a card. I will.
Very nice.
Well, that's not helpful. Yeah, and you have it because I just quest, go to 17, and then I pass.
Quest to 20.
Oy vey.
On Earth.
Yeah, I'll go next time.
I had the Sisu in my hand for many, many turns. It was a 6 cost, and I only had 4 ink.
No, I definitely was stabilizing, but when you were able to clear my board, I was like, well, I cannot re-stabilize here. You just had a lot of interplay effects that came in clutch that were just adding to. I was like, that's so awesome.
Yeah, that Philoctetes was really good too. Because I wouldn't have been able to clear the board without the +1 on heroes.
Yeah. I had the marshmallow in my opening hand, and I was like, that's the card. I had 2 in my initial draw, and then I mulliganed both away because I don't really want the card on the draw. And I was like, well, that's okay. You're back. But I couldn't play it on 3 because I needed the bodyguard. And so, and now knowing what I know, Marshmallow would have been a better pick because you would have only been able to get rid of 1 character. But sometimes it's how the cards fall and the cookies are crumbling. All I can say is, what riveting gameplay!
Wow, that was some
riveting gameplay.
Thanks so much for joining us again this week. We've had so much fun chatting with you and going through Ursula's Return, talking with Wonderland. Thank you so much for coming to visit us. We've had a wonderful time, and we can't wait to see you next time when we start our double quick version as we rush towards the very fast approaching launch of Fabled and set rotations. Next week. Next week we'll be talking about Shimmering Skies, the big party, and also Azurite Seas. So I'm so excited for it, and we can't wait to see you right back here in a couple of weeks. Remember, good or evil, every glimmer has a place, and so do you. See you next week on Rotten to the Lore.